Now that we know everything there is to know about studio sends and control room channels and studio channels, or almost everything, we can start now to talk about the other cool things the control room can do. And one of those things is the talkback system. Under normal circumstances, the audio engineer in a control room in a multi-room studio would not really be able to talk back to the performers in the studio or in the tracking booths. But with a talkback system, it gives the audio engineer in the control room a special microphone with which he can communicate to the performers in the studio. And Cubase allows you to set up a talkback system, all controllable within the control room mixer. So the first thing we would do is go to our old friend, the VST Connections window, and to the Studio tab, and then add a channel and add a talkback. And then we have to choose an input for that talkback microphone. And this is an input, not an output like the rest of these are. I happen to have a microphone already hooked up into my analog 1 input, and it's now connected. And so the talkback system is now set up. Now you'll notice the first thing that happened, of course, is we've added more GAC to our control room mixer, which is getting ever more complicated as we add more stuff. So we have a talk enable channel or button here, and we have a dim level for the talkback system. We have individual talk enable buttons for each studio channel, and a level of the talkback signal for each of those channels. So the talk button here turns on the talkback system. It activates it. When the talkback system is activated, it will dim all other signals by a set amount, whatever you've set here in this level meter here. Currently it's set to about -4 dB, and in favor of the talkback system. The talk enable button on each studio channel, we only have one studio channel, so we're only seeing one, that enables the talkback for that channel. So you'll hear me talking back to that channel when this button is enabled and when the talkback system is active. And then of course this level control controls how much of that talkback signal you will get, either more or less depending on how you've got it set. So what I'm going to do, and one other thing about this, sort of an anomaly of how we've got this monitored, since we are only listening to the control room channel and we have no way right now of listening to what's output on the Studio 1 channel, I've got it set up so that we're monitoring the Studio 1 channel with the control room channel, which is all very well and good, and we've been doing this the whole time. But one anomaly about that is that the talkback dim system actually dims each channel independently, so at the input. So it will not only dim the studio channel, the rest of the sounds 4 dB, that it's not the talkback system, but it will also dim whatever's coming in to the control room channel 4 dB. And that includes the talkback system that's coming into Studio 1 because it's being sent to the control room channel. A little bit confusing, but really it's just an anomaly of how we have to monitor it for this presentation. So what you'll see is the talkback system a little hotter on Studio 1 channel than it is in the control room channel, and that's only because the talkback dim level is being doubled up. It's being applied to both channels at the same time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute the mic I'm talking into now for the screencast, and I'm going to activate the talkback system, and I'm going to show you that it's actually working. So first I'll activate the talkback system, just like that. Then I'll make sure that talkback is enabled for the Studio 1 channel, just like that. And now I will mute my current microphone. And now I'm talking into the talkback microphone. And you can hear this, or you can hear me, and you can see the signal levels on the control room mixer. And as we discussed, the control room channel is actually slightly less signal than the Studio 1 channel because the talkback dim level is actually being applied twice. So that's how the talkback system works. Let me go back to the regular microphone. And now we're back, and I can turn this talkback system off. And now that's how you've set up a talkback system. One note about the talkback system, though, is obviously it's useful in big multi-room recording studios, but it can also be useful in a one-man band, one-room recording studio, where you've got a guest vocalist or a guest guitar player coming in to play a part on one of your songs. And if you use the control room with a studio channel, you will be able to use the Talkback system to talk back and forth to each other through your headphones, so that you don't have to actually remove headphones between takes to discuss the takes and what to do next and all that stuff. You can actually just have that conversation directly through the Talkback system. So it just saves a couple of steps. Now, there's several other things the Control Mixer can do, and what we're going to talk about next is hooking up several different monitor speakers and being able to switch between them. So that's what we'll discuss in the next video.